What's up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about what style of training should you be doing. So we're going to be talking about basically, uh, the differences between each style of training and how you should train as, the average normal person. So, you know, let's just dive right into it. So first off, what style of training should you be doing? That completely depends on a few things. Number one, that depends on what your goals are. If your goals are simply to put on muscle, I would stick to bodybuilding training. If you're, just to try to maximize the muscle mass pretty much and just build an aesthetic physique, I would focus on bodybuilding. If I'm trying to maximize my strength, I would probably do powerlifting. I would do powerlifting because you have a structured program where you're pretty much just focusing on strength. You're not focusing on, okay, I need to get bigger or anything. That's like an afterthought pretty much to get bigger. So, powerlifting, if you have a structured powerlifting program, you'll be able to maximize your strength and basically, get as strong as you kind of want to get pretty much. Um, if your goals are to be as fit as possible, I would prioritize probably cardio. Cardio, because the thing about cardio is basically, if you prioritize that, your conditioning ideally is going to be pretty good. I mean, let's say you're doing like 2 to 3 hit sessions a week. You're going to have good cardio. It's as simple as that. Obviously, you need to have still proper nutrition and proper rest and do proper mobility to be, at an optimal state. But, those will, if you do cardio and that's your goal, then, doing cardio will fulfill that goal of being fit. Obviously, you could still incorporate other kinds of training, but if that's your goal, then I would just stick to cardio. So now the big question is, okay, what style of training should you be doing, right? What should you be doing? What's the most optimal thing? So I think the most optimal thing is to try to mix in all three kinds of training, which is bodybuilding, a bit of powerlifting, and a bit of cardio. Now, you're probably saying, okay, why would you do all three of those? Now, I'm going to give you a couple reasons to tell you why you should, not tell you, to, just inform you on why you should do all three of these training styles, pretty much. So first off, bodybuilding. You want to build a bit of a frame, ideally. You still want to look aesthetic. I mean, for the most part, that's the reason most people get into the gym, is to build muscle and to look more aesthetic. So, doing bodybuilding, it allows you to pretty much build a frame, to like build a base on your body. So before I would even start powerlifting or doing excessive amounts of cardio, I would do bodybuilding to build a base. To build a base, pretty much, you have to do things that require you to use proper form and have a structured plan, pretty much. And that's the goal. You want to have a structured plan first, get used to having a structured plan, and to kind of build a base on your body. And then after I would do that, after you follow those steps, I would introduce some cardio, low intensity, nothing crazy, just baby steps. I'll probably do like 2 to 3 sessions of low intensity cardio a week. The reason I would do that is because I'm not, basically pushing my body to, like past its limits pretty much. What I'm doing is I'm just introducing my body to a bit of cardio. So just getting it structured into your daily, like activity, I guess, will be beneficial. And then you could start, in increments, just, you could increase the cardio a little bit more and then start introducing I guess a moderate intensity of cardio, and then that's when you could level up to high intensity. And then lastly, I would start introducing powerlifting into my routine, because once you've basically gotten your bodybuilding structured plan down and your cardio, structured plan down, you could start incorporating a different style of training a little bit. So now that you know how you know how to perform each exercise properly with proper form and have a structured plan, you could start doing pretty much powerlifting training. So what powerlifting training is basically just trying to move weight from point A to point B. So the goal isn't really to engage the muscle. The goal is to pretty much just move weight from point A to point B. So, obviously when you do powerlifting, it's very low rep, you know, just kind of like the opposite of bodybuilding. You're taking a lot of rest, whereas in bodybuilding, it's, low rest periods and kind of moderate to high rep kind of rep ranges. So I would definitely incorporate some strength stuff in your routine, and I've mentioned this before. If you're going to incorporate some strength stuff in your routine, I would, every time you do a session, I would start off with the strength stuff first, and especially they have to be compound lifts, and then I would start doing, accessory work. So that would be like bodybuilding stuff, sticking to bodybuilding rep ranges, and after I do that, I would probably add some cardio. Maybe on a day like that, I would do some low intensity cardio, maximum 25 minutes on, the treadmill or bike or whatever it might be, whatever you enjoy to do. Maybe it could be swimming, whatever it is your gym offers, pretty much. So that would be like an ideal day of training. If you're trying to do a HIIT session, I'd probably do it on a day on its own, or you could do it after a bodybuilding session. But I wouldn't do that HIIT session as frequently as you think. I would probably do it once or twice a week. Obviously you still want to be able to recover, because, you don't want, obviously, all these styles of training to conflict with each other, which they are going to conflict a little bit, but you'll still have the best of all these, styles of training, and that's the goal. You want basically to be like, just, as optimal as possible in all areas of training. So I would definitely incorporate all these styles of training. I know for sure that it will be beneficial. And the last thing I would do after all those styles of training is focus on mobility. Try at least a few times a week to try to, focus on mobility and stuff like that, so that you could be mobile in all, aspects, pretty much, in terms of just being flexible and things like that, pretty much. So, obviously at the end of the day, each and every one of us has our own goals. Obviously that would be the most optimal way to train, but some people just want to focus on bodybuilding, which is completely cool. I mean, if your goal is to compete or something like that, yeah, I would just focus on bodybuilding and, obviously bits and pieces of cardio to just, obviously the goal is to get lean. And I guess in a sense, it depends if what you're doing in terms of, PEDs and stuff, but, I guess to be healthy to a certain extent, even though bodybuilding isn't the healthiest thing, like if you're going to do it competitively. So I think it just depends on what your goals are. But if you want to be, if I guess you want to be optimal, I guess, or just optimal in all areas, I would try to introduce all three, basically different styles of training. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a like if you liked it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.